sounded so good. So get behind the wheel, crank up the tunes, and love life. It's gonna be a long ride.
What would the national pastime be if Babe Ruth had never picked up a bat? Who would our nation turn its lonely eyes to if Joe DiMaggio had never played the game? And whose name would we have chanted if Reggie hadn't slammed those back-to-back-to-back homers? Pick almost any year and you can pick a Yankee legend. You can name a player who made the pinstripes magical. And that is why you believe that on any given day, a legend can be born at Yankee Stadium.
Back at the stadium, top of the 5th inning. The Red Sox lead it by 8 as Brian Boehringer works with Mike McFarland. And that's low for a ball. The last night of the replacement umps. Fouled out of play, and it's 1-2 to McFarland.
Well, we've seen 2 Grand Slam home runs tonight in this game. Of course, the Yankees have a man on their coaching staff who had 2 Grand Slams by himself in one game.
Tony Cloninger, the bullpen coach, did that against the San Francisco Giants back in the 60s. Got 9 ribbons. A couple of hops toward third base, and Velarde tosses out McFarland here, first out of the 5th. There's Tony C. He was a member of the Atlanta Braves after they moved from Milwaukee to Atlanta. In my early days of the Minnesota Twins, and my friend and former teammate Bob Allison, who passed away a few weeks ago, he and Harmon Killebrew hit 2 Grand Slams in 1 inning.
Wow.
Against the Cleveland Indians back, I think it was about 63 or 64.
Not off the same pitcher, I hope.
No. Naring fouled that out of play. Brian Boehringer, his 2nd appearance in the major leagues. That's low for a ball. 10-11 as a starter last year. That was at Double-A Albany. Nice breaking ball in for a strike, and it's 1-2 to Naring.
Last inning he threw mostly fastballs, and that's what Vaughn hit out for the Grand Slam. This inning showing the better slider, using it more.
Good fastball there. Now he's loosened up a little bit. 5 outs in a row. Naring down on strikes. New York Yankee baseball is brought to you by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. All Boston here. A sparse crowd, game 2 of the 4-game series, as Tinsley steps in and takes ball 1.
Here he is, the number 9 hitter. He's singled and doubled.
And is tied for the team lead in RBIs with 7. Now 2-0. They're sticking it out. The real fans are here. I'll say if you're here tonight, you're a real fan. Upstairs, 2-0, 3-0 now.
Where's Tinsley going?
In for a strike. Mentioned the Red Sox would like to see Tinsley show some consistency at the plate as a switch hitter with that speed, and they'd move him up to the leadoff spot. In for a strike again, full count.
This is a tough lineup that American League pitchers are going to have to contend with.
Good swing, fouled straight back. Coming into tonight, the Red Sox hitting over 300. Of course, it's early, but that's got to make Jim Ed Rice awfully happy.
Jim Ed, huh?
Jim Ed. Now, when you analyze the years that he had, you mentioned about his Hall of Fame credentials. Tinsley down in the Boehringer fastball, and the Yankees set down the Red Sox here in the 5th, but we're halfway through at the stadium. Boston still leads it 8-0.
Now for deep cleaning, the Hoover Steam Vac. Not a vacuum, it washes out dirt, yet it's easy to use as you upright.
Hoover, nobody does it like you.
The Feeling's Back, brought to you by your Toyota dealer, where good feelings have always meant great Toyota deals. And oh, what a feeling at this month's spring clearance. Camrys in big supply mean great clearance lease deals. Only $199 a month means for the first time ever, the lowest Camry lease price ever. Just $199 a month. Or save big with factory-to-dealer incentives. Oh, what a deal. Oh, what a feeling.
Gatorade Sport bottle. It's tall and skinny. Like me. Fits on a bike. Like me. Great for lots of sports. Just like me.
Single serve. I'm single.
Got this really weird top. Enough said. 5 flavors. 5. And you can take it anywhere. Like me. Maybe not. Hey, life is a sport. Drink it up.
When I wanted a mini system, I looked at the situation logically. I wanted high tech and high power, but I didn't want high price. Logically, that said 2 things to me. Iowa and nobody beats the Whiz.
You looked at it logically? Did you know the Iowa Mini Max had a double cassette? Did you know you could change 2 CDs while one is playing? And who took you to Nobody Beats the Whiz? Yeah, you looked at it logically.
The Iowa Mini Max had nobody beats the Whiz. The logical choice in home entertainment.
Welcome back to the stadium. Bottom of the 5th, Don Mattingly to lead it off against Eshelman. And the first pitch in for strikers. Talking about Rule 5. And that's the way the Red Sox acquired Eshelman. If you're not moved up from Class A to Double A to Triple A, big curveball. Boy, drops down nicely. It's 0-2. Then a major league team, they leave you unprotected off the 40-man roster. Another look at that nice sweeping hook. Very impressive. Rounded towards second base. Alisei is there. And another ground ball out by Vaughn Eshelman.
Boy, he has the ground ball pill tonight.
New York Yankee baseball is brought to you by Hertz. For business, for pleasure, nobody does it exactly like Hertz. Oh, we just came from Kansas City, and Joe Nunley hit his first major league home run in his first at bat. He was a Rule 5 player. And when you're left unprotected, you have scouts out checking guys like Vaughn Eshelman, and the economic situation of baseball today, they're a real bargain.
Of course, in Kansas City, Al Troutwig gave us rules 1 through 4 plus Rule 5 in the Brown book, and he told us there's a total of 50 of them.
We won't go into all of it. We'll wait till Al gets back. Well, guess what? Another ground ball out. Nearing to Vaughn. I was kind of 2 quick outs here in the 5th.
I was kind of thinking, Jim, we might need the other 45 tonight if this game gets any more out of hand.
The first 8 Yankees were retired on groundouts, and Velarde finally hit the ball in the air. Last inning, 1 more, and 2 this, so 11 ground ball outs out of 14 by Vaughn Eshelman.
And if Vaughn gets 1 more out, he can qualify for the win.
Gerald Williams steps up. Frank Lane, Trader Frank, who used to be the general manager for the Cleveland Indians, and later the Chicago White Sox, and they had Joel Horland and Gary Peters, a lot of sinker ball pitchers. It's upstairs for a ball. He would offer, of course, guys don't need it now, they can buy their own clothing store, but he used to give a suit of clothes to any starting pitcher that threw 15 ground ball outs in a complete game.
You know, everybody talks about that All-Star game when Carl Hubble struck out all those great sluggers back in the 30s. Every time Gary Peters' name comes up, I remember the All-Star game in Anaheim when he struck out an array of National Leaguers.
Looped into short left center. Tinsley, deep left center as it carries up. That's a broken bat hit. And Williams is going to try for 3 and get there easily as Valentin bobbles the cutoff throw. Boy, that ball carried out into left center, and Gerald Williams has a 2-out triple. It sounded like a broken bat.
You know, last night, Paul O'Neill, in addition to his home run, hit a long double to the outfield, and when we watched the replay of that, Tinsley perhaps didn't get the jump that he would have liked. Let's see how he plays this one. It's driven to left center field, and it's beyond the grasp of Tinsley.
Yeah, he kind of coasted with that ball, and it did the one last night too. He didn't really run right to the point where the ball would come down like a lot of center fielders try to do. Third hit of the night for the Yanks, and Pat Kelly steps in. This is grounded again towards short. Valentin's there. 5 complete. It's all Boston. They lead it by 8 after grand slams by John Valentin and Mo Vaughn. Let's go to Sports Desk and Bob Page.
Thank you, Jim. The Mets are at Montreal tonight, the home opener for the Expos. The Expos have just gone ahead in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They lead New York by the score of 4-1. What a wild game at Candlestick today, where Tommy Lasorda and the Dodgers were scoreless through 14 innings with the Giants. Dodgers then went ahead 3-0 in the 15th, but Robbie Thompson crashes his 3-run homer in the bottom of the 15th to tie it against Rob Murphy. Then after Barry Bonds had singled, this is Greg Hansel on in relief, and Matt Williams comes through with a drive to left for a double to score Bonds with a game-winning run, 4-3, 5 hours and 16 minutes before just 16,000 announced crowd. Now this.
You say you got that car from Hertz for 5 days, $99.
Exactly. With free unlimited mileage and all that Hertz service? Exactly. Gee, what else could you want? Some fish?
Hertz, 5 days, $99, fish not included.
You mean our Hertz car for the weekend is only $25 a day?
Exactly.
With free unlimited mileage and Hertz service?
Exactly.
What else could we ask for?
Some marshmallows?
Hertz, only $25 a day, marshmallows not included.
In hockey here at the Garden tonight, a game being seen live over our MSG2 service. The Rangers tied 2-2 with Florida in the second period. This is late first period action. Brian Leach comes up with a puck here. He feeds Stevie Larmer. And watch this nifty play over to Peter Nedved, who beats ex-Ranger John Van Beesbrook to tie the game at 2. Out on the island, the Islanders losing to Philadelphia 2-0 in the second period. Now let's return to Yankee Stadium.
This is Vaughn Eshelman on the Boston Red Sox bench. He's in the driver's seat. He could have his first major league win. His team leads 8-0 as Brian Boehringer's first pitch is hit to deep left center field. Bernie Williams in front of Gerald Williams.
You don't think pitchers and players are superstitious? Now that's his 3rd one. He'll take a couple bites out of the cup, those swallows, and he opens up that those bubble gum wrappers. Opens up the bubble gum, puts it in his mouth, reads the fortune. Didn't like it, wads it up. Going to throw that one away. He's going to reach for another piece. Had enough of every inning. He goes in the same spot. Couple of Joe Palookas.
Notice he uses
read the comics.
Uses his right hand to throw it away. Doesn't want to strain that left arm.
Every pitcher has those little superstitions between innings.
And here now is John Valentin. What's he done in the game? He lined out hard to left. He hit a grand slam home run, and then he got hit by a pitch. He's come to the plate 27 times this year, has not been struck out. Somebody eating the cup?
Whatever works. A lot of pitchers would chew on towels. I mentioned Joe Horlin a while ago, and he would chew on wet gauze pads soaked in ice water.
That's pleasant.
Yeah, that was his, well, in the days when players, of course, were chewing a lot of tobacco, he would use that as you want something in there to keep from getting cotton mouth, to keep from getting dry mouth, and he used gauze pads soaked in ice water.
Brian Boehringer had a 15-pitch inning back in the 5th. He came on in relief of Yankee starter Sterling Hitchcock. Both Hitchcock and Boehringer have given up grand slam home runs. Valentin, the human on-base machine. He came in with an on-base percentage of .565, and he has reached again.
Mo Vaughn's last at bat, Boehringer's fastball up and away, and that's where it ended up. Up and away in the upper deck. And that made it 8-0 Red Sox.
Don't go away, folks, because Mo Vaughn is up right now. And the pitch is down low. Let's see how Boehringer works to Mo Vaughn this time.
You hear the expression, pound them in, pound it in on the fist. That's really what they try to do with Mo Vaughn. saying it is one thing and getting it in there is another.
1 out, 1 on. Breaking pitch bounced into the Yankee dugout. Bo yanked a fastball on the outside part of the plate and took it into the upper deck for a grand slam home run. Red Sox 8, Yankees nothing. He's come in with an assortment of off-speed deliveries and breaking pitches this time.
After you've given up hits on some fastballs, again, Vaughn Eshelman chewing on his cup and his bubble gum. A lot of left-handers have had those unusual little habits they get into.
Slash down the left field line out of play.
Mike Cuellar, remember Mike Cuellar, great left-hander from the Baltimore Orioles, who also threw a lot of ground ball outs. He would never go out and take the mound until Elrod Hendricks, who was the backup catcher, would always have to catch him. He would throw the exact same number of pitches, always sat on the bench, put a little towel next to him, wrapped up tight, same routine. And Eshelman's is a cup and some bubble gum.
Vaughn could not hold up. He was fooled that time by the breaking pitch from Brian Boehringer. So a little measure of revenge for Bo.
Well, the fastball away, and finally the Yankees get a ball inside on Vaughn's hands. That's the vulnerable area for him, and a real good pitch by Boehringer. After the grand slam, he's pitched very effectively. Buck Showalter allowing him to pitch a couple of innings and get that confidence back. Looked like a much different pitcher in spring training.
He struck out 3 of the last 5 batters he's faced. Now we've got a pinch hitter coming up for the Red Sox.
Reggie Jefferson, who led the American League in pinch hitting last year. Switch hitter. Chamberlain's night is done.
He came into the game when Jose Canseco left with a strained groin. On by Leyritz. Boy, you could see he was handcuffed as that ball was coming to the plate. Valentin is down to second. Boehringer gets a new baseball from the home plate umpire tonight. Tomorrow night, the real guys back. The real men in blue return.
Leyritz looking for it outside. Boehringer threw it inside. Ball 1 to Jefferson. Another one of the new look Red Sox. Only 10 returned from last year. Signed as a free agent during the winter.
Went after a pitch that looked to be out of the strike zone. It carries well, but Williams is there, and the side is retired. So in the inning, the Red Sox leave a man on, and now in the middle of the 6th, it's 8-0 Boston.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Nobody's got the power to please me.
Now high traffic areas clean up quickly with the Hoover Steam Vac. It's not a vacuum cleaner. It washes and extracts dirt and stains. Yet it's as easy to use as an upright cleaner. Deep cleaning, forward and back.
Hoover, nobody does it like you.
Your Tri-State Quality Ford Dealer's Great American Ford Sales Event is almost over. Our great deals on 5 of America's top 10 selling vehicles are in their final days. Hurry in now for big savings. Lease the all-new Ford Contour. Just $194 a month for 24 months with $1,475 down. It's Ford's all-new world car for the 21st century. Now at a very down-to-earth payment. Just $194 a month. This offer ends soon, and the Great American Ford Sales Event will be history. See your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer today.
In today's environment, there's no better way to equip your office than with Canon technology. And there's no better way to access that technology than through MCS Canon. MCS brings you the fastest, most responsive service and system support available. A single-minded focus on your company's problems allows MCS to provide the best possible solutions. Let us show you the possibilities.
I need to be up and running, like yesterday.
No problem.
At Nobody Beats the Whiz, we can't promise your work will be any less a grind. We will promise you access to the office of your dreams, wherever that may be.
Back with you at Yankee Stadium. Bottom of the 6th inning in a lopsided affair with the Red Sox leading 8-0. Vaughn Eshelman, the starter, making his major league debut and now taking a shutout into inning 6.
I'll tell you, he has been impressive. 26 years old. Finally gets a chance to pitch in the big show. And he's only thrown 42 pitches through the first 5 innings. So go a couple more.
Sterling Hitchcock threw 35 in 1 inning, his final inning.
Starting to think of left-hander Billy Rohr, Red Sox Yankee fan that followed this series. That was the last Red Sox starter to make his major league debut against the Yankees. That was back in '67.
And what did he do of note in that game?
He got to the 9th inning with a no-hitter, and the late Elston Howard broke it up. And later that year, Elston Howard was traded to the Red Sox and helped them win the American League pennant.
That was a trade that crushed me as a Yankee fan. Hit hard by Bernie Williams, but Valentin hasn't played perfectly. Bernie speeds down the line, but can't get there in time. New York Yankees baseball is being brought to you in part by your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer. See your Ford dealer and see for yourself. 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Elston Howard played his entire career with the Yankees, and then late in his career, late in that season, traded to the Boston Red Sox and ended up in the World Series. But as a Yankee fan, I said, how could they let him go?
That's not right, was it? Well, there have been some other pitchers that have made their debut against the Yankees and gone on to do quite well. Billy Rohr did not have a long career.
Andy Velarde hitting now. His second start of the year, playing at third base tonight. Wade Boggs getting the rest.
1964, LT Luis Tiant made his major league debut against the Yankees.
Is that LT?
Different LT. Got the same kind of moves that El Tiante had.
Yeah, but he never turned his back on the quarterback.
He mentioned tonight the part of the Dodger international rotation, Hideo Nomo, the Japanese phenom, started. Many compare his motion to Louis Tiant, who's coaching in the Dodger organization.
There's a bouncing ball that Eshelman can't get. But a fine play by third baseman Tim Naring. Boy, the Red Sox clicking on all cylinders. Offense, pitching, and defense.
Notice how often when you've got a pitcher throwing strikes, you know you're going to get a lot of action. You get better plays. Naring has been sparkling in the field tonight. That's now 15 ground ball outs. Eshelman tries to glove it, but a nice bare hand pick and throw by Naring. And Vaughn on the other end with a big stretch to complete the putout.
As it turned out, a good thing the pitcher did not touch the ball because Naring had the only play. Jim Leyritz batting now with 2 outs in the 6th. I'd love to hear a conversation between Luis Tiant and Hideo Nomo.
Any conversation you have with Luis Tiant, you'd enjoy. He's one of the funniest men I've ever played with. One of the most enjoyable teammates to have around.
Well, when we were in spring training one day, I asked Rick Monday, who's now a Dodger broadcaster, what does Luis say to him? And Rick said, I don't know. I can't understand a word Luis says to me.
And El Tiante, Louis Tiant, later played for the New York Yankees.
2-1 to Leyritz with 2 outs in the 6th. See, Jim never moves that right foot out of the batter's box. When he steps out, he keeps the right foot anchored.
See, today is Tuesday, projecting a 5-man rotation. That means Eshelman is going to start again on Sunday. And then the way the scheduling is done is when you have a series here at the stadium, within 2 weeks you play the same team again. That's going to happen. So the Yankees will play the Red Sox a weekend series the end of next week, and they'll see Eshelman again. That's always the key. You know, they've seen him for the first time. Little curveball, sinker, a lot of ground ball outs. It'll be fun to watch how the Yankee hitters try to adjust to him when they play in Fenway Park.
3-2 now as Eshelman goes full against Jim Leyritz. Speaking of the rotation, Sterling Hitchcock, knocked out early, is due to come back on Sunday against the Milwaukee Brewers here at the stadium. Down the right field line, but it'll carry into the stands.
Two teams that have gotten off to good starts. The Milwaukee Brewers and Colorado Rockies. And the Brewers, nobody felt with the, I think now the lowest payroll in the major leagues, right down there with Montreal, but they're going to come in with some nice players this weekend and a good record, good starting pitcher, starting with Cal Hill.
In for a called strike 3. Leyritz took the walking start. He'll have to walk back to the dugout, put on his catching gear, and come out and talk to that umpire again.
First strikeout of the game for Eshelman.
Come to Gorman Appliance of Inglewood for the guaranteed lowest prices. Gorman is a member of Associated Volume Buyers. 938 stores strong means top quality at the guaranteed lowest price. We have the lowest prices on refrigerators, microwaves, ranges, washers, dryers, TVs, and VCRs. Free delivery on most major appliances. With our 30-day lowest prices guarantee, you're assured the lowest price. Gorman Appliance, 30 East Palisade Avenue, Inglewood. Lowest price guaranteed.
Blue skies or gray skies, I'll always be around. You can rely on me, I'll never let you down.
Whatever little surprises life has in store for you, one thing you can always rely on is the cool comfort of a TempStar air conditioner.
You can rely on me.
Rely on the star. TempStar.
Buying a used car or truck? You got 3 choices. You can take a chance dealing with strangers looking through the classifieds. You can drive all over town looking for a bargain. Or you can do like I did. You can see your Ford dealer. He's got tons of used cars and trucks, all makes and models, some still under factory warranty. And good prices whether you lease or buy. And your Ford dealer can even help with the financing, and he'll be there to handle the service. Hey, it's your choice. Make it a good one. See your Tri-State quality Ford dealer.
New York Yankees baseball is being brought to you by Jeep Eagle. Test drive an Eagle at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer or call 1-800-2-TEST-EAGLE. Well, it's been a tough night for Yankee fans here at the stadium, and for those of you watching on MSG with a score 8-0. I'm sure you're a bit warmer where you are watching than these folks are here, but the Red Sox are back for the next 2 nights. Then the Milwaukee Brewers come in, and Vaughn Eshelman being congratulated for his major league debut.
Boy, what a night for him. One he'll never forget. 6 shutout innings, gave up 3 hits, a lot of ground ball outs. He's going right into the telephone, call home, turn it over to the Red Sox bullpen. Yankees bring on a new pitcher, Joe Asanio, here to work the top of the 7th.
And the first batter he'll face is Mark Whitten. Whitten looks at the pitch down low, ball 1 from Joe Asanio. This will be a test for a guy who comes sidearm and drops down submarine against the left-handed batting Mark Whitten.
That's one of the reasons Buck Showalter likes Joe Asanio coming out of that bullpen, is because he's not limited to just right-hand hitters. He can drop down 3/4 sidearm with a slider and curve, but against lefties he has that split finger. And so even against a power hitter like Whitten down and away, he can handle those guys.
That time with the submarine-like delivery, and the count is 2-1. Well, we talked about Mark Whitten with a 4-home run, 12 RBI game. I'll call it the greatest game a batter's ever had. Whitten looks as the pitch break low. Now everybody knows, if you say in basketball what's the greatest game anybody's ever had, everybody knows Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. Here's a guy playing in the major leagues, and few people, if you ask them to name a present player who had an unbelievable game. Few people could name Mark Whiten.
4 home runs and 12 ribbies. Jim tied Bottomley, I think, but Bottomley didn't get the 4 home runs like Whiten did. So.
But I think baseball has to do a better job of promoting a young star like this with a Herculean, Ruthian accomplishment that not even Ruth or Hercules had. Left field and fairly deep. Opposite field power, but Gerald Williams is under it and makes the catch.
There's Vaughn Eshelman getting congratulations from John Cumberland. Boy, is he a happy coach. A left-hand pitcher himself. Congratulating Eshelman, and boy, the smile on that face. Man, easy game, yeah. Just throw it low, turn it over a little bit.
Now Greenwell against Osanio. That's a called strike. So 6 innings of work. Shutout work of that for Vaughn Eshelman. Vaughn, and Valentin, the story for the Red Sox.
Joel Johnston, the right-hander in the Red Sox bullpen.
We saw him work last night.
Well, that's an area the Red Sox are concerned about. They have Ken Ryan at the end and Stan Belinda on the disabled list right now. Threw quite well last night in a simulated game, or yesterday down in Florida. He'll be added to the bullpen along with Derek Lilliquist, but it's that middle area, 5th, 6th inning, Kevin Kennedy's concerned about.
Osanio's pitch is hit in the air to center field. The loping gate of Bernie Williams, and they're 2 away. Game moving along now at a much better clip than early on. And Sterling Hitchcock worked himself into trouble and surrendered the first of the 2 Boston Red Sox grand slams to John Valentin. Later, Mo Vaughn cleaned the bases. That was against Brian Boehringer. Now here's Mike McFarland. He went around, strike 1.
There's 4 ways you get hitters out if you're blessed with natural stuff like a Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan. The other way is to change speeds. The other way is motion. And the other way is good control. Hit the corners. Joe Osanio gets hitters out a lot with that motion.
Quickly he goes 0-2 to Mike McFarland.
He changed the arm angle. You know, he'll come up top about 3/4, and then watch him sort of dip that front shoulder, drop down, and that one comes from Port Arthur down under. Real difficult for the hitter to track that ball.
Yeah, tough to catch sometimes too. No damage done as there's nobody on base. Will somebody get the ball? Yes. Joe Osanio lives in Kingston, upstate New York. And there'll be no play on this one. Joe says his family, wife Tammy and the kids Joey and Kevin, get to watch the games on MSG up there. Let's see, it's 9:30. I don't know if the 2- and 4-year-old are in bed yet.
That youngster's not. He's braving the elements.
I mean, they should be in bed, but Dad's pitching, so
got to watch him.
Yeah. Just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
Joe throws the split finger or the fork ball. And that's the grip he starts with.
Yes, he got him on a foul tip held on to by Jim Leyritz. Very impressive inning for Joe Osanio out of the Yankee bullpen. 7th inning stretch time. Yankees trail 8-0.
Person needs to send resume to New York. Wants to make a big impression. Goes to post office. Finds out priority mail is a smart solution. Resume gets noticed. Person gets job. Now if you can only get a cab. Team needs new jerseys. Person has to deliver them overnight. Goes to post office. Finds express mail as a smart solution. Guarantees delivery. Jerseys arrive on time. Person avoids getting sacked.
The rewards of using the American Express card keep adding up. Every time you use the card, you can earn miles. Miles that add up to free vacations, free flights, free adventures. The Membership Miles program. It's our way of saying thank you for using the American Express card. Enroll today. You've earned it. To enroll or to apply for a card, call 1-800-AX-MILES.
Your Tri-State Quality Ford Dealers Great American Ford Sales Event is almost over. Our great deals on 5 of America's top 10 selling vehicles are in their final days. Hurry in now for big savings. Lease the all-new Ford Contour. Just $194 a month for 24 months with $1,475 down. It's Ford's all-new world car for the 21st century. Now at a very down-to-earth payment. Just $194 a month. This offer ends soon, and the Great American Ford Sales Event will be history. See your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer today.
Let's check the American Express road notes and see how the Boston Red Sox did on the road last season. Losing record on the road and a losing record at Yankee Stadium of late, but they are in the driver's seat tonight, leading at 8-0.
And they've won 4 of the last 8. First year at the helm. We talked to him yesterday about the surprise move. He'd been told in Texas, Kevin Kennedy, yes, you'll be back. Your coaches will be back. He notified them all, and Dave Oliver, his third base coach, is here with him. And then 30 days later, the Red Sox fired general manager Tom Grieve and hired Doug Melvin. And Kevin understood this. Doug Melvin came in and said, well, you know, I'd like to bring my own people in. So the Rangers hired Johnny Oates. The Red Sox got Kevin Kennedy.
Managerial musical chairs.
And Johnny Oates is back in the dugout again, we're happy to say, after being with his wife Gloria during her illness.
By the way, 2 years in Texas, Kevin Kennedy won 138 games, lost 138 games. With the Red Sox off to a slightly better start, 3-2. Joel Johnston to face Andy Tartabull. Johnson has a very slow delivery to the plate, and then that ball gets up on you in a hurry.
Again, we talked about getting hitters out with emotion. You know, there's a motion that as a hitter can kind of lull you to sleep because it's very deliberate, but he's got a good sharp break on the slider. Good movement on the sinking fastball.
Fouled straight back. Tomorrow night it'll be Jack McDowell making his Yankee Stadium debut. Already 1-0 after winning in Kansas City.
There's that deliberate motion of Joel Johnston. Hands at the belt so he could keep the eyes on the target, and then boom, that's where the arm speed comes from, right at the last moment.
Swing and a miss. Tartabull struck out on the hard slider by Joel Johnston. Well, some company for the fan in the last row. Now here's Mike Stanley playing his first game after getting hit on the hand in Kansas City. Valentin at short, scooped up by Mo Vaughn.
Yeah, looking at Joel Johnston, who the Royals drafted in 1988. Came up briefly with the Royals. Some control problems. They peddled him off to the Pirates. Now he's come back with a new opportunity here in Boston. 6 saves at Pawtucket before the Red Sox called him up yesterday.
Don Mattingly hitting now with 2 outs in the Yankees 7th. 8-0 Boston. Mattingly on the night, grounded out twice.
Johnston adds to that NFL look the Red Sox have. Checking the roster, now the Yankees have 3 players that are 6'3" or over and weigh at least 215. Andy Pettitte, Paul O'Neill, and Melito Perez.
Hit hard and deep to right field, way back, but it is not carrying, and it's caught in right field by Mark Whitten. So many balls come off the bat of Don Mattingly and look like they have a shot. But that's the 3rd out of the 7th inning.
While a brother may be hard to propel, the Hoover Power Drive is self-propelled, making cleaning so easy, even a brother could do it.
Hoover, nobody does it like you.
Don't blink. The business world is changing so fast. You might miss something. It's a world in which business as usual can put you out of business. So at UPS, we do more than deliver packages. We do things others can't. From barcoding to managing your inventory, tracking around the world to delivering around the corner. Like you, we have to wear a lot of hats. Ours just all happen to be brown. UPS, moving at the speed of business.
It's a perfect day in the travel industry. Or is it? If your 800 service goes down, it's like your business disappears. Your customers vanish. For travel agents and cruise lines, that could mean hundreds of customers a minute. This won't happen to Carnival Cruise Lines. They chose AT&T's 800 Never Miss a Call guarantee. With features so reliable, calls would be rerouted in less than a second. So their fun ships stay filled and their calls get through, guaranteed. AT&T, for the life of your business.
Rauchen verboten.
不要抽烟。
Apagorevete, tocapisma.
タバコを吸わないでください。
Vietato fumare.
Cigarette sul naso.
Défense de fumer.
In answer to our passengers' requests,
Prohibido fumar.
Delta Airlines has become the first and only U.S. airline to fly totally smoke-free
No smoking.
worldwide.
You'll love the way we fly.
8th inning at Yankee Stadium. Dave Cohen, Jim Cott. Gus Johnson will be along with the Yankees postgame report. Joe Osanio on the mound, and he's pitching to the number 8 hitter, Tim Naring. Single and 3 at-bats. Naring batted twice back in the 3rd inning. No ball, 2-strike count from Joe Osanio. He is the 3rd Yankee pitcher of the game. Hitchcock, Boehringer, Osanio. Boston 8, the Yankees nothing.
Naring's had a nice chance to show what he can do at third base. He's got 5 assists. Talking about Osanio starting with the split finger grip that you see there, and then when he goes into the glove, sometimes he'll change it. That one he kept it. That was a fork ball that broke down and in. He'd always start from that grip.
1-2 is a bit low. 2-2. Naring, now the Red Sox third baseman. He only played 11 games at third base last season. Count remains at 2-2.
And people might say, well, why do you start with the forkball grip? What happens is first base coaches will watch very closely, and if they see you start with the fastball grip and then change, they can pick up your breaking pitches. So you see how he goes back to the fastball? He's got it well disguised, just wiggles the fingers a little bit. But by starting with that forkball, Joe feels it's a little forkball grip, a little more difficult for the coaches to pick up his signs.
And a swing and a miss. He gets Naring. Another strikeout for Joe Osanio. One away, bottom of the 8th, and Lee Tinsley, the number 9 hitter, but he's got a single and a double tonight in 3 at-bats. So here's another chance to see if Osanio can use that forkball, the splitter, to move the ball down and away from the left-handed batter. precisely what he did.
Talking about how Tinsley's built almost like a running back.
Oh, out in front of that one. He reminds me of John Nunnally, who we saw in Kansas City.
Tinsley's 5'10", 185. That's tiny on the Red Sox team. I mean, these guys are monsters. Talking about comparing the Red Sox roster and the Yankees.
Called strike three. 3 pitches, and he disposes of Lee Tinsley.
Very impressive outing by Joe Osanio despite the 8-0 score. Shows you how he can get those left-handers out. A little borderline breaking ball on the outside edge.
Billy Connors making note of Osanio's performance. Pitcher of records on the winning side, Vaughn Eshelman. On the losing side, Sterling Hitchcock. We're in the top of the 8th. Luis Alicea. Foul tipped it into the glove of Leyritz.
Good sinking action. There's the monsters. They have 14 players that weigh at least 215 pounds. Big deal. Well, the Yankees only have 3. And the 3 that I mentioned the Yankees have that are 6'3" or better, Melito Perez, Andy Pettitte, Paul O'Neill. The Red Sox have 11. I'd have to say height and weight, biggest roster in the American League.
Well, they'll be favorites in a bench clearing ball.
Remind me of the '79 Pirates when they had Stargell and, yeah, Louis, you'll need that if you get in a battle with the Red Sox. They had Stargell and Bibby and Dave Parker and Al Oliver, and boy, when things break out on the field, you look for guys like that, make friends with them.
Fortunately, Moe's a nice guy. The Red Sox with 2 grand slams in this game, the 7th time in their illustrious history they've had 2 of those in the same game. Joe Osanio now goes full to Luis Alicea. What's that call? Strike 3. Luis Alicea tried to buy the walk, but he was punched out on strikes. The real guys are coming back tomorrow night. In the middle of the 8th, Red Sox 8, Yankees nothing.
Maybe you've always seen yourself in a Jeep Grand Cherokee with a 190 horsepower engine, anti-lock brakes, and driver's airbag. But maybe you've never seen one fitting into your budget. So maybe you'll be surprised to see for $299 monthly, 1 can. The easy-to-lease Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now if you can see it in your head, you can see it in your driveway. See your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers.
Hello, New York, and welcome to the Iceman Cooking. Today we will be preparing in my garden Charles Oakley's espresso. This espresso is strong, just like Charles working in the garden.
Well, then, Ice, maybe we need to get Charles to work in your garden because this is pretty pathetic.
You know, I'm doing the best I can. That's what I like about it. I like about my gardener. He like Charles. He don't take no stuff. None.
And all of a sudden I'm supposed to make magic?
You know, the hardest worker in the garden is Charles Oakley.
The people of New York love their music. Hard rock music, heart thumping, brain screaming, music to body surf by. At Nobody Beats the Wiz, we understand hard rock. That's why we carry the full catalog of bands like Aerosmith, Metallica, Primus, and many more. And that's why all our single CDs are $13.98 or less, with thousands priced below $9.98. Want to hear some hard rock? Nobody beats the Wiz.
The Yankees are at the stadium to take on the Boston Red Sox again. After Scorecard, tomorrow night, right here on MSG.
Eight to nothing, the Red Sox leading the Yankees It's a laugher, except in one regard. Jose Canseco was injured early in the game.
Steele at second base gets a big jump off Sterling Hitchcock, but just as he begins his slide, he catches the back foot. The right foot just kind of drags in toward the bag, and he immediately reached down for the groin. Kevin Kennedy had to remove Canseco in the first inning, but it hasn't made any difference.
And you can see we do have a large strike zone now with an 8-0 score in the bottom of the 8th inning. In the air to short left. Will it be Valentin? No, it'll be Greenwell. This copyrighted telecast is authorized under rights granted by the New York Yankees solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Yankees and Madison Square Garden Network is prohibited. Luis Polonia up now in a pinch hitting role. Batting here for Gerald Williams.
Joel Johnston at 6'4", 235 pounds. He's one of the big guys. He was talking with Pat Kelly before the game. They're both from the same area, Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Luis knocks this one foul down the left field line.
Red Sox go ahead and close this game out. Vaughn Eshelman will be the 6th starting pitcher who has made his major league debut against the Yankees and come out with a victory. Mentioned Billy Rohr back in 1967. That was a complete game win, and Louis Tiant in 1964 was a complete game. Both of those shutouts. And the way Eshelman was pitching tonight, only 59 pitches through 6 innings, he probably could have pitched 9 had it been a normal spring training and we were into June or July, but not this time of the year.
Johnston didn't get the strike call that time as he's behind Luis Polonia 3-1. Yankees tonight holding out Wade Boggs and Paul O'Neill as they face the left-handed pitcher. Maybe a play on this one. Valentin, not much room in foul territory. He makes the catch. So we've got 2 men away now at the bottom of the 8th inning, and Pat Kelly will come up to hit. If this score should hold for the Boston Red Sox, the 8-0 shutout would equal the largest shutout they've ever had at Yankee Stadium. Kelly went around, strike 1. Kelly batting with 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Joel Johnston. Hard slider, that's called strike 2. In relief of Vaughn Eshelman, and what a night Eshelman had. 59 pitches, 36 strikes in 6 innings of work.
Red Sox may have picked up a couple of bargains the way Johnston's throwing the ball also.
There'll be no play on this. Bernie Williams to hit next for the Yankees.
Nice article in the paper today about what the Giants have done. The owners of the San Francisco Giants and the players got together and financially funded 3 new diamonds for the inner city youth of San Francisco. I think that's something that owners and players in all major league cities ought to get together and do more of if they want to truly form a partnership.
Be nice if maybe a player could adopt a league each season and follow that league throughout the whole summer.
They're talking about the players and the owners, you know, eventually forming a partnership because of the financial woes in this game, and that was just kind of a nice joint effort PR-wise for both.
That's a call, strike 3. Kelly will be put out at first base. So we go to the 9th inning with the Red Sox leading the Yankees 8-0.
or gray skies, I'll always be around. You can rely on me, I'll never let you down.
Whatever little surprises life has in store for you, one thing you can always rely on is the cool comfort of a Tempstar air conditioner.
You can rely on me.
Rely on the Star. Tempstar.
Tired of the same old menu? Try the Kef Room. The Kef Room serves authentic Middle Eastern cuisine with the difference you're looking for. Drop by for lunch or dinner and come by on Friday and Saturday for our live entertainment. The Kef Room, 445 Grand Avenue, Palisades Park.
Buying a used car or truck? You got three choices. You can take a chance dealing with strangers looking through the classifieds. You can drive all over town looking for a bargain. Or you can do like I did. You can see your Ford dealer. He's got tons of used cars and trucks, all makes and models, some still under factory warranty, and good prices whether you lease or buy. And your Ford dealer can even help with the financing, and he'll be there to handle the service. Hey, it's your choice. Make it a good one. See your Tri-State quality Ford dealer.
Came on in relief, and what a stint he had.
Couple of punch-outs. Did a nice job on the left-hand hitters. Gets that fastball past Tim Naring. Here's the fork ball to Mark Whitten. Down and away for strike three. So despite the 8-0 score, nice outing by Asanio. Handled Lee Tinsley. This is a nice liberal strike zone from the 5th inning on tonight.
The new Yankee pitcher is Jeff Patterson. He'll be hard-pressed to match the 4 strikeouts in 6 batters faced by Joe Asanio. Here's Luis Polonia staying in the game in left field and making his first appearance of the year, finally.
Well, there's always that pool amongst players. You look around and say, who's going to be the last one to finally get in a game? Well, Dave Silvestri is no longer in that pool. 7 players going into today have yet to make their 95 debut. That's position players. Veteran Candy Maldonado among that group. But Silvestri gets to break in at shortstop, where he performed for the 1988 Olympic team.
Now we go to inning number 9. The Red Sox 8, the Yankees nothing. John Valentin. He's now hitting .476. He has 7 runs batted in. Grand slam tonight. Has not been struck out this year. Center field, Bernie Williams. 1 down in the Red Sox 9th.
Jeff Patterson made his major league debut, as Brian Boehringer did last Sunday against the Kansas City Royals. Walked 3, but got a strikeout and got out of the inning without any runs. The Yankees picked him up late last year from the Phillies, player to be named later in the Bobby Munoz, Terry Mulholland trade.
Big Mo against Jeff Patterson. Strike 1.
I'm talking with Buck Showalter this spring about Terry Mulholland, not effective at all with the Yankees, how he might do this year.
At the knees, strike 2.
Going back to the National League, pitching for the Giants. Candlestick Park, pretty good curveball park, and Buck said wouldn't be surprised to see him have a good year over there. He pitched 7 shutout innings yesterday against the Dodgers and picked up a win.
He went around. He's a strikeout victim of Jeff Patterson. 2 away in the top of the 9th inning.
Now this will go in Buck's book or Billy Connors, because Brian Boehringer struck Vaughn out on a late breaking slider in the same spot. And that's where it's going in the book. The home run he hit was up and away. And Billy Connors will make note of that.
Ball 1 to Reggie Jefferson, who entered the game as a pinch hitter, looking for his first hit of the year against Jeff Patterson. third base, Velarde. Low throw to Mattingly. And the side has been retired here in the ninth. We'll be back with the bottom of the ninth right after this.
Our first rule at the new 7-Eleven was to throw out the old rules. So we teamed up with the world's leading brands, using their know-how to make our foods fresher than anyone ever dreamed. We're building state-of-the-art commissaries, where stores have Deli Central items made to order each evening, then delivered by 5 a.m. the next morning in dual-temperature trucks. We even show our customers the exact minute an item was prepared, so they know we put the freshest ingredients into it, and the freshest thinking behind it.
Oh, it were a stormy night it were, and the waves they were as tall as buildings. Then suddenly, crack, one of the waves hit the bow, smashed it a bit, but then over the wheel, tight. Then we heard a
Hey, honey, didn't we go to school together?
You're
quite a catch. Hey, what's your sign? I'm a Pisces.
9X. More information, more solutions, more stuff.
Maybe you've always seen yourself in a Jeep Grand Cherokee with a 190 horsepower engine, anti-lock brakes, and driver's airbag. But maybe you've never seen one fitting into your budget. So maybe you'll be surprised to see for $299 monthly, one can. The easy-to-lease Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now if you can see it in your head, you can see it in your driveway. See your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers.
We're back with you at Yankee Stadium, where we remind you tomorrow night the Yankees and Red Sox go at it in Game 3, and then again on Thursday night, Game 4. I called it the best of 4 at the start of our program tonight. Of course, it's playoff mode for the Knicks and the Rangers shortly.
Yankees will get a look at another left-hander they haven't seen. Sterling Hitchcock with a tough night tonight, back on the bench, but Real Cormier. Talk about so many Olympians in the major leagues. Cormier was with the Team Canada in the 1988 Olympics. Left-hander with a good sinking fastball. Well, he's relaxed and a smile on his face despite a tough night, Sterling Hitchcock.
He's had a tough go of it in the Bronx. If he gets the loss tonight, which is certainly likely, he'll be 1-5 at Yankee Stadium.
It's Ken Ryan, hard-throwing right-hander. He's the ace of the Red Sox bullpen. Been out 2 games this year, an inning in each appearance with no runs. And when he comes in, it's country hardball. Here it comes, high and hard. Hit it if you can. Just a matter of whether he can get it in the strike zone often enough.
And Deion James will get a chance to see if he can hit it. But first, Bernie Williams will bat. Deion has come out on deck. Bottom of the ninth. Fastball for a strike. Bernie in the leadoff spot tonight with a hit in 3 at-bats. Yankees managing only 3 hits. Curveball. Mo Vaughn is going to do it by himself. And he beats Bernie by half a step.
Kevin Kennedy's infielders got a lot of action tonight. Talked about Vaughn, Eshelman, and all of his ground ball outs, 14 of them in 6 innings. You think of Ryan as a high ball strikeout pitcher. That was a good overhand hook. And Vaughn sucks it up for an assist.
Yankees haven't had a hit in this game since Gerald Williams' triple back in the 5th inning. Now Deion James against Ken Ryan. He comes right over the top. Deion getting his only hit in a pinch hitting role.
He's really anxious to get a lot of at-bats. He feels that year in Japan made him a much better hitter. Got a chance to hit off a variety of pitches. The Japanese pitchers throw that sinker they call the shuto, and they got a lot of different motions.
He batted against Hideo Nomo in spring training.
Exactly. In fact, talking to him about Hideo Nomo, and we think of him over here as maybe the best pitcher to come out of Japan. He said there's probably 5 or 6 pitchers in the Japanese league better than Nomo.
And it's 3-1 now. Speaking of Nomo, he pitched 5 innings today, 1 hit ball in that Dodger-Giant game that went to, what, the 15th inning without a run score. Then the Dodgers got 3 and the Giants came back to win it with 4. Second base, Alicea. And the Yankees are down to their last out. Jim Leyritz comes up with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Red Sox looking to close out and shut out the Yankees. Eshelman started, then Johnston, now Ryan. Jim Leyritz hitless tonight. What good hook. No balls and 2 strikes.
13 saves last year with that high fastball and overhand curveball.
13,694 paid, 1,645 got free bleacher seats. And 1 more souvenir. Red Sox 8, Yankees nothing. Don't forget Gus Johnson with the Yankees postgame report. Michael Kay will be part of that as well.
Jack McDowell in his first Yankee Stadium start tomorrow night. First Yankee Stadium start as a member of the Yankees.
Now Leyritz gets in against Ken Ryan. The Yankees are down to their last strike. And a new baseball. Tomorrow night, Jack McDowell will pitch and the real umpires will be on the scene. The umpires have not really been any kind of factor tonight. Center field and very deep, but Tinsley is there and the ball game is over.
Well, it was painless for the Yankees after the Valentin grand slam in the 3rd inning. Mo Vaughn added 1 to that. Eshelman 6 very effective innings. Johnston and Ryan out of the bullpen, and the positive for the Yankees is they got some innings from Brian Boehringer, Joe Osanio, Jeff Patterson back on the mound. To get the lead tomorrow, they've got the big boys out of the pen fresh: Wickman, Howe, and Wetland.
Vaughn, and Valentin. The story tonight for the Boston Red Sox. Couple of grand slams and all the scoring in 2 swings of the bat. We're coming back to Yankee Stadium right after this.
I want to know about meeting that special someone.
Sorry, can't help you there.
I want to know more about a diet I can live with.
No way, not in this commercial.
I want to know more about Rogaine.
Rogaine with minoxidil?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay, just call this number now for a free information kit on Rogaine topical solution. It could help answer your questions because it's filled with all kinds of facts about Rogaine. And because you need a prescription to get Rogaine, we'll send you a list of local doctors and special money-saving offers to help you decide if Rogaine is right for you.
But I want to know right now.
We'll mail it to you today. So what are you waiting for? Call now for your free information kit. Call 1-800-432-1080.
Making your money make more for you.
Interchange State Bank.
Come to Gorman Appliance of Inglewood for the guaranteed lowest prices. Gorman is a member of Associated Volume Buyers. 938 stores strong means top quality at the guaranteed lowest price. We have the lowest prices on refrigerators, microwaves, ranges, washers, dryers, TVs, and VCRs. Free delivery on most major appliances. With our 30-day lowest prices guarantee, you're assured the lowest price. Gorman Appliance, 30 East Palisade Avenue, Inglewood. Lowest price, guaranteed.
See the real circus, Clyde Beatty Cole Brothers Circus, 3-ring family entertainment under the big top. See tigers, horses, trapeze stars, 3 rings of elephants. See the human cannonball at Clyde Beatty Cole Brothers Circus, an evening your child will never forget.
Coming to the 20th Century Field in Garfield on Thursday and Friday, May 25th and 26th, with advance tickets now on sale at the Garfield YMCA and the Garfield Recreation Department on Midland Avenue. Free tickets for kids available at Garfield Food Town and ShopRite.
Yankee Stadium, and here is the Jeep Eagle game summary. All zeros for the Yankees, 2 big innings for the Boston Red Sox. Eshelman the winner, Hitchcock the loser, and the grand slam home runs in the game by John Valentin and by Mo Vaughn.
This one in the 3rd inning, Sterling Hitchcock battling a little bit with his control and got a pitch up in the strike zone. And Valentin rips this to left field. Gerald Williams with a valiant leap. Couldn't get that. That made it 4-0. In the very next inning, Brian Boehringer to Mo Vaughn on a pitch that was up and almost looked out of the strike zone. And Vaughn takes this in the upper deck. So the 2 Seton Hall alumni accountable for 2 grand slams and all 8 RBIs.
Love the way Mo dropped the bat and just admired that one. And there's the winning pitcher, Vaughn Eshelman, and he'll be Gus Johnson's guest on the postgame show. And right now, after the Red Sox have defeated the Yankees 8-0, let's go back to the MSG Sports Desk and Bob Page.
All right, thank you, David. Hi again, everybody. The news not much better for New York fans here at the Garden tonight. A game being seen live over our MSG2 service. The Rangers are losing to the Florida Panthers 4-2 with about 1:40 to go. This contest was tied 2-2 going into the 3rd period. And Jody Hull, the ex-Ranger, has scored twice to break it open. Here a 2-on-1 with Bill Lindsay. Hull takes the pass and scores at 1:25 of the 3rd period. Rangers have just come back and scored, I'm told, so it's 4-3. Should the Rangers lose, they will finish 8th in the NHL's Eastern Conference and likely open up the first round of the playoffs against the Quebec Nordiques. Out on the island tonight, a game meaningless for both teams. The Islanders conclude another dismal season. They're blanked by the Philadelphia Flyers 2-0. Dominic Roussel posting the shutout. Now in the NBA playoffs this evening, the Chicago Bulls just dominating the Charlotte Hornets. The Bulls will go up 2-1 in this best of 5 as they lead Charlotte big with about 8 minutes to go. And Indiana completed a 3-game sweep of the Atlanta Hawks earlier this evening. A little later on tonight out west, both Phoenix and San Antonio can close out their series. Now this.
Is MCI trying to tell you how easy it is to get the big discount with calling circles?
But if the people in my calling circle leave MCI, how do we get the big savings you talk about? Okay, so I have to stop calling these people and start calling other people with MCI. I see. And I know these other people have MCI because... Of course I'll hold, Bobby.
Sick of circles? Maybe it's time to switch to AT&T. Call 1-800-GET-TRUE.
AT&T, this is Carla.
Carla, this calling circle thing is too much for me. The TV ads, they're calling me at home. My terrier's less tenacious.
You want AT&T True Savings.
Yeah?
It's the best way to save without circles.
Good, because I want simple.
Sign up, make $10 in calls a month, and we'll subtract 25% off your AT&T bill.
Switch now. Call 1-800-GET-TRUE and save 25% anytime you call anybody in the U.S.
25% off to who?
To anybody.
Anybody?
Anybody in the U.S.
Hooray, you signed me up, because, I just... Are you married?
Call now to switch to AT&T for free and get easy 25% savings with True Savings.
Your true voice.
I'll have the baseball highlights, all the scores coming up in the Yankee post-game report about 5 minutes or so from now. And don't forget our full 15-minute edition of the Sports Desk coming up here at 11 o'clock tonight.
I want to know about meeting that special someone.
Sorry, can't help you there.
I want to know more about a diet I can live with.
No way, not in this commercial.
I want to know more about Rogaine.
Rogaine with minoxidil?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay. Just call this number now for a free information kit on Rogaine topical solution. It could help answer your questions because it's filled with all kinds of facts about Rogaine. And because you need a prescription to get Rogaine, we'll send you a list of local doctors and special money-saving offers to help you decide if Rogaine is right for you.
But I want to know right now.
We'll mail it to you today. So what are you waiting for? Call now for your free information kit. Call 1-800-432-1080.
May serves up a great month of springtime sports action on MSG Network. The real New York Yankees are back in action and look to throw some weight around in the early going. They take on the Cleveland Indians, the Baltimore Orioles, plus Junior and the Seattle Mariners. The New York Knicks wrap up the regular season and make a run at the NBA playoffs. Don't miss all the action as Patrick looks to take us all the way. The New York Rangers try and skate their way into another playoff run against the NHL's best. Catch Bess and the boys as they make their run at another cup. Stay tuned throughout the playoffs and catch some of the biggest stars in sports and showbiz. Mike Francesa and Kathleen Murphy host live from the play-by-play. Take full swings at today's hard-hitting sports issues with the man who pulls no punches. Bob Page hosts Page One. Grab your shades and catch the coastline craze from beautiful locations all over the country. It's the ABP Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. Plus, you can always get all the scores and stories every night with MSG Sports Desk. Take one deep with all the great May sports action on MSG Network, the best in the game.
Yeah. We're back with you at Yankee Stadium where the Boston Red Sox have downed the Yankees tonight 8-0 in the second game of this four-game series. The winning pitcher again, Vaughn Eshelman. The losing pitcher, Sterling Hitchcock. Coming up next, it's the post-game report with Gus Johnson, Bob Page at the MSG Sports Desk, and the Clubhouse Report with Michael Kay. Don't forget to be with us tomorrow night following the Yankees AT&T scorecard. Game 3, the Red Sox and the Yankees. It all begins at 7 p.m. And now speaking for Jim Cott, this is Dave Cohen saying so long from Yankee Stadium.
New York Yankees baseball has been brought to you by your neighborhood 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. And by your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
In his illustrious baseball career, Babe Ruth hit 714 home runs. Once he even called his own shot. Today, thanks to Baseball Weekly, Babe Ruth can help you make a few calls of your own. Because now, with every one-year subscription to Baseball Weekly, you'll get a limited edition phone card commemorating the life of Babe Ruth. You'll get 10 minutes of long-distance calling free with your paid order. How about that? Baseball Weekly, the most complete guide to who's up, who's out, and what's what in baseball. In each issue, you'll get team reports, every box score, major and minor league news, top college action, trends in the marketplace, vital stats for fantasy leaguers, even a page for kids. Just call this number to order your subscription and get 52 issues for just 77 cents an issue, plus the Babe Ruth Collector's phone card. So order today. Baseball Weekly, a great call.
And welcome back to the Yankee post-game report, where the Yankees have fallen to the Boston Red Sox 8-0, the final score, and the star of this game turned out to be the kid Vaughn Eshelman, and he joins us right now on our post-game show. And Vaughn, first of all, your first start at Yankee Stadium, you come out here, you face the Yankees, you do a very good job. You must be feeling like $100,000 right now.
Yeah, I definitely feel much better right now after the job is done. As compared to before, I had some butterflies in my stomach. Then, last night it was rough sleeping. So, yeah, it feels pretty good right now.
I thought you did a good job in terms of mixing up your pitches, throwing a lot of ground balls. What basically were you working on out there? What were you throwing?
Anytime that I'm going to get ground balls early in the game, that's when I'm going to have a good game. when the ball gets up, I'm going to have pop-ups and guys are really going to hit me hard. I just try and sink the ball away from them, then keep them honest on the inside part of the plate.
And in terms of your teammates, 2 grand slams, John Valentin, Vaughn, you got some pretty good support up there today.
Yeah, they say the double play is a pitcher's best friend, but I don't know. I think the Red Sox lineup might be some of our pitchers' best friends.
Some very, very good hitting by the Red Sox. In terms of nervousness, when you stepped onto the field here at Yankee Stadium today, how nervous were you? What was going through your mind?
After the first pitch, everything was fine. It was just another ball game, and until you hear when they announce like Don Mattingly is coming up to the plate, that gets your adrenaline going again, and if I'm going to throw my pitches and I keep them down, I think I can be successful.
Now, at the end of the game, your pitching coach, John Cumberland, who was a former Yankee, had a chance to sit and talk to you. Was he pretty pleased? What were you guys talking about right here?
He said, Kevin Kennedy came down and John came down, and they said that, it looks like you could probably finish it up and get you a shutout, but there was no sense in doing that. I got out, did a good job, for my 6, and let the bullpen do their work.
And what kind of pitcher do you really consider yourself, if you look at it, and what kind of pitcher do you see yourself becoming in the future?
Well, the type of pitcher I am, I'm a power pitcher at times. I'll fool people at times. I'll go at you at times. So on any given day, I can be just a little bit different to where I can keep someone off balance. But I guess time will tell, how I end up doing in the big leagues.
Well, Vaughn Eshelman, you get your first win. Congratulations. Thank you very much for joining us today. Vaughn Eshelman, he is our dime performer of the game. But right now, we want to go back to our Midtown studios where Bob Page is standing by for all of the highlights today, and a lot of them are going to go to this young man. Bobby.
Thank you, Gus. Hi again, everybody. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from the stadium tonight. Young Mr. Eshelman in his major league debut, picking up the victory for the Boston Red Sox in what was a rout of the Yankees by the score of 8-0. The game was secondary thing for Buck Showalter, though. The Yankee manager obviously moved during a moment of silence for former Yankee head groundskeeper Frankie Albone, who died yesterday. Jose Canseco, stealing second base in the second inning, pulled a muscle, had to leave the ball game, and Texas manager Kevin Kennedy put Wes Chamberlain in to replace him. No word yet on Canseco's condition. Sterling Hitchcock's condition as a Yankee starter, precarious. He was awful tonight. Gave up 2 singles and a walk in the Red Sox third. Then as Buck and Billy Connor looked on, his former Seton Hall star John Valentin taking Hitchcock over the wall for a grand slam. The Jersey City native put the Red Sox up 4-0. Hitchcock loaded the bases again in the third inning after this, was finally replaced by Brian Boringer. In the big league debut of Mr. Eshelman, he pitched very well for Boston. Got some help defensively here as Gerald Williams grounds into a 5-4-3 double play. And then in the 4th inning came the crushing blow with Boringer in the stretch. Bases loaded again. Can you believe it? Another ex-Seton Hall star returns to hurt the Yankees. Mo Vaughn gets all of this fastball high into the right field seats. He's out of Norwalk, Connecticut. Boston was up 8-0 with a lead like that. Anybody, even a major league rookie making his big league debut, could take a chance on relaxing on the bench. The kid threw only 59 pitches. Here's his only strikeout. He gets Jim Leyritz looking to end the 6th inning. The announced crowd of 16,000, what was there to begin with, began filing for the exit shortly after this. Not much else to see. Joel Johnston on in relief gets Danny Tartabull swinging to end the 7th inning. You see a couple of the people who were still left at this stage of the ball game. Then in the 9th, Ken Ryan came in to close the game. Leyritz flies to center field. Lee Tinsley makes the catch for the final out. The Yankees held to 3 hits, and they were shut out again. The score was 8-0. An absolute travesty at Detroit today, where Cleveland